Morning, folks. It's finally the day of the Taylor Swift concert in Houston, the pre-Superbowl one. And I'm just in total shock right now, honestly. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm going to be seeing Taylor Swift later today. It'll probably get more exciting as the day goes on, especially as we get round to about 4 o'clock when we're meeting in the car park, because that's gonna be very exciting. It's about 9:30 in the morning just now. I'm meeting my friend at 11. So what I'm going to be trying to do is pack a bag, because I have a dress that I'm going to be wearing tonight and I want to do like a full face of makeup again. But I don't want to go around the shopping centre in a gold sparkly dress with a full face of makeup on. So I'm going to be changing at his hotel, which you saw yesterday. That's so much closer to the parking lot that we're meeting at than the hotel I'm in just now. This is like the other side of town. Well, not the other side of town, it was like a 20-minute drive or something. I might put like a base layer of makeup on, and then that's at least something to get me started later. There's some people who are already lining up at the venue, and the venue doesn't open till 9 o'clock tonight, so that's like a good 10-hour wait or something that they've still got to go, which is absolutely insane. I just hope that whatever happens, they stay safe, because we were told not to line up at the venue because for health and safety reasons, basically. So if they want to make friends, if they want to have a day of camping out, that doesn't bother me really, but if they're going to be put in a position where they're unsafe, then that does kind of bother me. So hopefully they're going to be okay. Right, folks, that's me just about to leave for the day. So when you see me later, I'll be checking back on my portable camera. So goodbye, little Cammy, and I'll maybe see you later or tomorrow and see how it goes. It's about 1:30 now, and we're back at my friend's hotel. We went out for like a kind of big lunch. We've been to the Cheesecake Factory. We met some lovely Swifties there who are also going tonight. We met 5 of them in the Cheesecake Factory itself, and then also somebody just as we were walking past saw my Taylor Swift shirt and said hello. It's just so cool to see so many people. Like, the hype is real today. Like, I've not really bumped into any Swifties before today, so it's never felt like a big deal, but now it's feeling like a big deal. So it's about 2.5 hours before we're heading out to the car park. We'll maybe listen to the beginning of the live stream before we go. Haven't really decided yet to see if it's anything worth listening to. And if it's not, then we're going to go get going to the car park. Still got the cookies, haven't changed yet or anything like that. It's far too early for that. Once I'm in my dress, I'll be wanting to go ASAP. So I'll see you all later. Okay, we are now on our way to the car park. Very exciting. And as you can see, we've all glammed up. So the car park's like a block away. We've heard that there's quite a few people there. So let's see how this goes. We've been standing in this line for about an hour now. As you can see, there's like tons of people behind me, and then there's also tons of people in front of me as well. There's like tons of coaches right over there, because we're going to get on and go to the pre-show party, but first we have to get our wristbands. Right, we're finally on the bus, and apparently it's like a 45-minute drive, they're reckoning, through to the party, so we might be here a while. I've got a couple of wristbands. How mad is that? I'm so excited to see what happens next. I'm back to my big camera now, my regular one. It's about 2:40 in the morning. And as you can see, my face is a mess. I have glitter in my hair. My pigtails are very distraught. And my makeup is smushed, for lack of a better word. This is what I look like all together. This is a t-shirt I got at the pre-show party. This was my dress. I've got the 1989 style wristbands. If you went to the 1989 tour, you'll know about these. They light up. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the concert while I'm getting ready for bed, because I have a flight to catch tomorrow and I don't really have time to stop and give a full debrief. This is the kind of turny bit of the tap. This is the best spot I could find to set up my camera while I take my makeup off in order for me to be able to chat. Okay, so I'll start with these braids, which were put in for me at the pre-show party. You could have your hair or your makeup done, or both, if you had the time to stand in the queue. So I decided to get my hair done. I'd spent quite a bit of time doing my makeup and I didn't really want to get my makeup done, so I didn't do that. I'll begin with the live stream announcement that AT&T had been putting out. They basically said to the fans, tune in at 4 o'clock. You do not want to miss this announcement. It's going to be very exciting. So a lot of fans thought that that meant they were going to announce Taylor's brand new album, which she didn't. What the announcement actually was that at the pre-show party they had a wall of roses, and if you kind of commented online, you could have a message put on a rose and you could kind of be there in spirit at the pre-show party. It really didn't go down too well because everybody thought it was going to be something really big and exciting. When we got to the pre-show party, the whole rose on the wall idea had been totally scrapped. You could still get a picture with the rose wall, but they weren't doing messages and stuff, and I assume it's because it went down so badly online. One thing I did get from that rose wall, though, was one of the roses had fallen off. And since I felt so personally irritated by the way they'd worded everything and made it sound important, I decided just to take one of the roses that had fallen. So I've kind of got that with me as a bit of Swiftie history there. When we turned up at the parking lot, which was not meant to open check-in till 4:30 or something, there was so many people there. We must have turned up at about 4:10 or something because we wanted to check what the live stream was about. But there was so many people there. And I made a lot of friends by going around with a pack of cookies and offering them to people. That's a good way to make friends if you don't really know anybody. So it maybe took us about an hour and a half to get to the front of the line and get our credentials and things. And they gave us 2 wristbands. This one is to say we were allowed on the floor at the show itself, and this one was to say we were allowed in the pre-show party and that we were part of the Yorktown group. Yorktown is the name of the parking lot, if anybody's wondering. It's not got some super secret meaning. So the pre-show party was generally quite cool. There was lots of things you could take photos with, lots of different things you could eat. You could make your own t-shirt. That turned into a bit of a disaster because everybody was making t-shirt designs so quickly and they weren't able to kind of pump them out as quickly. But I did just about manage to get mine. My lovely +1 went and collected it for me. Because we're at the pre-show party, we got to go into Club Nomadic itself first. So the VIPs kind of got a chance to find a place next to the stage. Originally, I went for somewhere in the middle, but I'm not very good at standing for too long, so I kind of got a barrier spot at the very front of the stage, but it was very extreme, far stage right. I couldn't see absolutely everything that went on in awesome detail, but I feel like I didn't miss out on too much. And she kind of came into our area a few times and we got some cool photos. My +1 was getting a lot more than I was because I tend to like to just enjoy a concert. I'm not big into taking photos. My photos always end up looking terrible. So the show itself was kind of like a version of the 1989 tour. Although it was 1989 based, or seemed to be, there was also a good mixture of some of her bigger hits. And my personal favourite was when she sang Better Man, which is a song that she wrote for the band Perry. Not the band Perry. Little Big Town, I think they're called. It's a country song, but it reminds me so much of the stuff that she wrote kind of around the time of Fearless. And to hear that live, I didn't expect to hear it, and it got me a little bit emotional. I've only heard that song like once or twice, but when she started saying that she wanted to sing some of the songs that she'd wrote, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, if she does Better Man, I knew it was gonna just ruin me. She done mostly her big hits, but she also done All Too Well, which is an album track from the Red album, but it's a big fan favourite. Loads of people love it. So she did that as well, because the crowd that requested it at her last show were in Austin, Texas, which really isn't too far from Houston in the grand scheme of things. So I met a lot of really cool people today. There's a lot of people I would have liked to have spoken to more, but we never really seem to have the chance to talk, but that's okay. I'll maybe see them some other time. Another really cool thing that's happened during the show is when I first got to the front of the stage, one of Taylor Swift's guitarists was kind of speaking to the technicians, and when he kind of looked over at the crowd, I gave a wave because I recognised him, so he gave me a wave back. And then during the show, we'd be kind of like singing each other, well, you know, that sounds kind of weird, just like singing lines at each other and stuff. Like he'd kind of like point at me, or I'd like dance or something, and he'd kind of like react back and stuff, which was really cool. There was one point where like Taylor was kind of singing in the corner where I was based. I can't remember what song. No, it wasn't I Know Places, but there was a bit where she went, you, and she pointed at me. And she pointed at me because I was doing the hand heart when everybody else was like screaming. Maybe it's just blank space. I can't actually remember. A hand heart is this. Like you make the heart shape with your hands. And that's very old school Taylor Swift. She hasn't done that for like 7 years now. I think I've covered just about everything. In terms of the pre-party, there was a lot more people than was generally expected. I know some people thought that there was going to be quite a lot of people, and I think their expectations were realistic. I know a lot of people were hoping that it was like a secret album announcement, or she was going to like perform songs, or everybody was going to meet her. I never really thought any of that was going to happen, so I wasn't really too surprised when it didn't happen. But during the pre-party, they did play like a special message that she'd made for everybody, where she just said, I hope you're enjoying the pre-party, I'm getting ready for the show, and I hope you enjoy it, that sort of thing. So that was pretty cool. I think as long as, when it comes to Taylor Swift stuff, you're realistic with your expectations, then you can't really be disappointed. Maybe that's just the way I see it. Like, it's fun to get carried away and know that she's done all sorts of crazy things, but she doesn't always do them, sort of thing. You know, it doesn't always happen that way. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. They said, like, Taylor was the only performer, which she was, but they had Ruby Rose as, like, a special DJ who was on before her. I don't really know very much about Ruby Rose, but I'm not really into DJing and stuff, so I just kind of stood and waited until Taylor was on. There was also a really nice guy who was working the show, and he was, like, chatting away to me in my +1. I was right next to where the smoke machine was kind of putting out, and I've had like a cough for a while, but the kind of air was getting very dry in that area, so I had a bit of a cough. And he gave me some of the water. It was for workers, but then I think they also keep some water down the front for if anybody looks ill and stuff like that. So he was able to give me a bottle of that, and I thought that was really nice. I didn't ask for it, he just kind of put it with my things and made sure that I was okay. Okay, I think that's it now. I think that's everything I had to say. So tomorrow I'm checking out very early. It's like 8:30 I'm getting picked up. And then we're flying to New York, another place I've never been to before, so this should be really cool. And I cannot wait, but I do really need to pack up a bit more. So I'm going to maybe concentrate on doing all that. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good night.